Hello, it is Wednesday, March 16th, 2022. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It is a Wednesday puzzle, so a little bit of a step up in difficulty, perhaps, from the Monday and Tuesday, and we have quite an amazing, I just noticed, bit of grid art. I suppose we'll get to that in a moment. First, I'll thank a few people. We have a new benefactor who has joined the Patreon campaign, so thank you to Christina. And thank you also to Austi Pellicer and, as always, the inestimable Hood Monster. All three of them are benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign. And so thank you. Thank you to them for their generous support. And thank you to everybody who has backed the Patreon campaign at any level. If you back as a benefactor, you get that Let's Check the Crosses Daily Solve mug, as well as the, this recognition, I suppose. And if you back the Patreon campaign at any level, you get access to all of the bonus video solves that have gone up to date, as well as the new ones that go up each week. And there have been quite a few recently, so do check that out. Okay, and I guess that's it. Let's get on to the solve. So I'm very fascinated by what's going on here. This is a Wednesday puzzle constructed by Joseph Gangi. This is a debut puzzle and edited, as always, by Will Shorts. And what a debut puzzle it is. This very, very interested to see what's going on with this duck. So that does mean we have a rare non-symmetrical grid. It's not symmetrical about any of its axes. I don't think, unless there's a way. No, it's not radially symmetrical. Very interesting. So let's get going. Let's get started. Okay. Oh, one across is duck. Oh, sorry. I just noticed. Oh, so, oops. I think this might. Yeah, sorry. I think I had my zoomed out slightly. Anyway, so one across is duck, but I just noticed 9 across is duck and 17 across is also duck. And then 25 across is blank duck. So this sort of feels like a monthly bonus puzzle, actually, coincidentally. So yesterday, I didn't solve the daily puzzle on screen because when I solved it, the recording wasn't working properly, which I didn't realize until after I had solved the whole video. So I put up the monthly bonus puzzle instead. And the monthly bonus puzzles tend to be themed in a light but very extensive way. So there doesn't tend to be any sort of complex theme mechanic, but a high percentage, usually a majority, of the clues and answers tend to have some kind of reference to the theme. And this kind of reminds me of that, in that it looks like the theme is a duck. And that's just all over the puzzle. And so that's very interesting. Anyway, let's get going. Sorry. High-rise units, abbreviation. Apartments, perhaps? Residential units in a high-rise building. Strategically evasive could be sly, maybe. Like many a barrel-aged wine, could be oaky. It could have the oak barrel, sensation. Blank Parmigiana. Oh, veal Parmigiana, perhaps? Mixing, I guess, an English language and Italian language word in that case. Duck. Oh, you could duck something, you could avoid it. There we go. I was ducking this, dealing with one across for too long, but now we've solved it. Rocks in a tumbler would be ice in a tumbler. And word of leave taking, you could say peace. I'm gone. So here's another duck. Take cover, perhaps. You could duck, you could take cover. And molds, e.g. I'm not sure, actually, but it probably ends in S, doesn't it? Total disarray could be chaos. And here we have, it's mind, all mind. You could mine or. So there's a little bit of wordplay. Henceforth, I blank will be Romeo. Henceforth, I never will be Romeo. I think that's probably right. Imaginary ordinal. I don't know if you'd necessarily call this imaginary, but I think this means nth. Ordinal in the sense of indicating orders of first, second, third, fourth, and so on. And nth would be not so much imaginary, but unknown. Because imaginary does have a particular meaning in mathematics, but I think I know what it's getting at. Maybe I'm misunderstanding some element of it. Anyway, no blank, no foul. Looks like no harm, no foul. And swing era, 1933 to 47, swing music that refers to. Keep close to one's heart. Treasure, if you treasure something, you keep it close to your heart. Handout for a walking tour. Oh, an area map. I kept thinking creamer because that would fit in a single word, but two words, area map. And molds. Oh, decays. So it's molds as a verb. I see. I was thinking of molds, one is sort of something that molds something, something that forms something else, or mold, the physical sort of embodiment of decay. But here we wanted the verb itself. Food will mold, it will decay. Mike of Shrek, Mike the actor Mike Myers. And butterfly, also called a common tiger or wanderer. Oh, a monarch, perhaps? I don't think I knew those alternative names right offhand. Attachment for a bit. A horse's bit. Be attached to the reins. And street cred is reputation, and the fact that rep is itself in that contracted form indicates the answer will be as well. What to call a man in Mannheim? So this would be a German man, Herr, whatever, Mr. whoever. And that comes up in the crossword often. You'll have a location that serves as an indicator of a particular language or dialect or that sort of thing. Like cheese puffs and rice cakes, those are airy snacks. They're aerated. And print oopses are errata, so published corrections. Wet wood woe is dry rot. Haven't seen a duck in a while. Indirect confrontation. And here we have used as a dining surface, 8 on. Average mark could be a C in school grading. Excuse me. And indirect confrontation. Oh, I see. Toe to toe. There we go. That looks right. Oh, and here's our duck. Duck EG. Not sure. And what about this? Cotton gin inventor Whitney, Eli Whitney, and a chance of a lifetime. One. Seems like once or one something. Sis and Dawes, those are family members, presumably. Well, I was going to say Dawes is father, but Sis is only a single sister. So they don't match, which doesn't necessarily mean anything. I mean, you could be referring to one sister and multiple fathers, but I'm trying to imagine what that then is referring to. Just family members in general? What would a word for that be in 5 letters? Is there another? I'm probably missing something about this. I'm sorry. I'm going to move on for now. Let's go back up to the top of the puzzle. Oh, it's another duck. All right. What about this? Tablecloths and napkins. Those are linen. It could be a problem. And cozy spot. Why is spot in quotation marks? Pic sharing app informally could be Insta for Instagram. That's the informal bit. The second R in J.R.R. Tolkien. I'm not sure, but it will start with an R. I bet that. I still don't know that duck. And here we have prepare to proof in baking. Oh, to knead. If you knead dough for bread, you then let it prove and rise. Oh, so to duck could be shirk, to duck your responsibilities, to shirk your responsibilities. And laceless shoes are slip-ons. What a flat bee palm facing a nearby fellow stands for in American Sign Language. What a flat bee palm facing a nearby fellow stands for. Him, I'm just guessing based on the fill so far. Oh no, his, okay. Oh, I see, you're referring to his belongings or whatever. Okay, so it could be a problem, could be an issue. And cozy spot, Oh, a spot of tea. I see. Okay, so that's why spot was in quotation marks because it's cluing us in, I suppose, to a bit of misdirection. Perhaps on, I don't know, maybe on a Saturday we wouldn't have the quotation marks to give us that help. What is this though? Second R and J. I just don't know. I'm going to need to get it entirely through crosses. Well, good. Here we have Donald Duck to fill that in, and rule. Raoul. I don't know. I'm not familiar with this name of Tolkien. It's a blank. It's a deal. We're on. And heavenly prefix. Why do I not see that immediately? Perpetual and big snarl, and then here we have examine. Oh, this isn't it's a deal. That's why I wasn't getting these crosses, or maybe that's not the reason, but that wasn't helping. It's a date, as opposed to it's a deal. And I think either of those would work fine, depending on what meaning of we're on we're using. You could be saying we're on for a date or we're on for a deal. I suppose we're on for a date is maybe a bit better of a match, and it is, in this case, the match. So to examine something could be to eye it. Tampa Bay Pro. This will be a sports team member. Heavenly. Oh, is this dealing with Uranus, maybe? Is that what that could be? Uranus? Perpetual. No end or something to that effect. A big snarl could be a rat's nest, maybe? So the Tampa Bay Pro in this case would be the array, assuming that this heavenly is correct. Perpetual, something. And list ender could be et al. And others, or something to that effect. Transmit could be send. Opening on Christmas Eve. Opening on Christmas Eve. I'm not sure. The question mark makes me think that this is a prefix to a word, perhaps. Or it could be the first word of a song, a Christmas carol, maybe. But I'm not getting it immediately, so I'm going to move on. Be in a mood and brew would be stew. Oops. Oh, here it is. Yes, sorry. It is the opening to a poem in this case. 'Twas the night before Christmas. There we go. So that's the opening meaning the first word. And largest lake in Ethiopia. Oh, I'm not sure. And then here we have has in hand, could be holds. Oh, nonstop. So Tana is the largest lake in Ethiopia, and perpetual is nonstop. There we go. Lightning strike could be a zap, perhaps. And what is that? Scene of pandemonium. Oh, a zoo. You could refer to that as a total zoo. There we go. Where did we leave off down here? Right. This duck. Oh no. And here we have fine, stay angry then, be mad, you might say. Mission to remember in San Antonio, remember the Alamo, they say. Skittish, antsy or nervous, what is it? The Duck Variations playwright. Is it David Mamet? I'm not familiar with that particular work, but that is a playwright. He is a playwright who would fit in that film. Mexican pal would be amigo, friend. Something a duck lays would be an egg. And here another simply duck, dodge. And skittish is timid. There we go. So duck, e.g. a bath toy. There we go. And the illustration of the duck in the middle of the grid looks just like a little rubber duck bath toy. Sis and Daz. Oh, sorry. I see. I really should have gotten this much earlier. Is there an accent? On what I read was sis. I think there is. Sorry, I'm not very close to my screen, so I can't. It seems like I am in the video, but I'm not really. So I can't quite tell. I think there's an accent there, which suggests this is sis and das. So these are yeses in other languages. That's very clever. No wonder I was confused about the family member thing. Okay. So, a chance of a lifetime, say. I'm not sure, but here we have duck. stoop down, maybe? So could that be true? What about this? 45 down, coat room fixture. Oh, it could be a hat peg. So that would fit with stoop. Oh, Swiss author of Elements of Algebra. It must be Euler, or Euler, actually. I think his name is pronounced. The mathematician. And Bugs and Daffy in the Iceman Ducketh, e.g. Well, it's obviously a parody or spoof of the Iceman Cometh, but I'm not sure what it's getting at. Sorry. Here we have Duck Duck Follower, Duck Duck Goose, a children's game. And musicians' chance to shine, perhaps. Could be a solo. And flabbergasts or gobsmacks. Awes? You awed someone, you flabbergasted them? That seems plausible enough. Memo, subject header could be in re, so in regard to... this is probably actually... I mean, I've sort of anglicized it. It's probably actually a Latin abbreviation. Raphael's weapon in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I have not a clue. Is it this? I hope so. I don't know. I've actually never seen any of the. I've never seen any version of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so I'm not sure what. I know they're all named after. I know they're all named after Italian artists, but I don't know which is which. Is this a weapon? Psi, maybe? I'm really not sure about this. What could be different? I think these are all correct, so I'm going to go ahead and just assume that's right. So to duck is to stoop down. Oh, Bugs and Daffy and the Iceman Ducketh, a duo. Okay. Well, fair enough. That was a bit of a reach to force some more ducks in there, but that's fine. I approve. A chance of a lifetime, say. A one-shot? Is that a phrase? And editors forget I wrote that. Stet. So stet means it's a proofreading mark, and it means ignore the correction. So if you indicated delete this, you then might say stet to say, never mind, just actually leave it. Sanctified could be holy, and a conger is a kind of eel, so that's right. Or is it conjure? And a pigpen is a sty. And there we go. We have ducked failure. What a funny and ridiculous grid. Really enjoyed that. And enjoyed all of having to come up with so many different ways, so many different synonyms, I suppose, of duck. So we had avoid, shirk, take cover. I'm just gonna look at the ones that are just the word duck. Bath toy, stoop down, dodge. Oops, sorry. Fewer in the downs, actually. Oh, interesting. Oh, so all of the clues that were simply duck were in the acrosses. Just a little bit of tidiness in the construction, I suppose, an arbitrary restriction that the constructor decided to maintain. And there we have it. So in addition to those synonyms of duck, we had a number of other duck-related clues like Donald Duck and the duck variations and Bugs and Daffy and the Iceman Ducketh is a tortured clue simply to refer to a duo. Could have been two of anything, but may as well have been two ducks. And there we have it. That was, I think, a fairly straightforward crossword. I don't think that was, as far as Wednesdays go, I don't think that was too difficult. There were a few things that I hesitated on, such as Heavenly and this Raphael's weapon. Is there anything else that I found? I think those were the main things that really stopped me in my I mean, I didn't know Tana, I must admit, largest lake in Ethiopia. I suppose I was lucky in that by the time I got there, I had perhaps everything but one letter, so I didn't have to dwell on it particularly. But let me know how you fared. I thought this was not too tough for a Wednesday puzzle. But yeah, do let me know. And I think I actually have to be taking off at the moment, unfortunately. But I don't think there were any. I don't think there were any major corrections from yesterday's puzzle. So I don't actually think there's a huge amount we're skipping in the clues from yesterday's puzzle. Apologies if so, but I did see somebody comment on the origin of the Edda, the Icelandic tales, but it was more of a sort of bit of information than a correction. But anyway, sorry, I'm just blathering now. I do have to jet. But thank you for joining me on today's extremely cute illustrated duck puzzle, the Wednesday puzzle for this week. Fun to see some grid art in some very representative symmetrical grid art, very unusual in the New York Times crossword. I will be back tomorrow for the Thursday puzzle, another themed puzzle that will be more complex than simply cramming duck into the puzzle in as many ways as possible, although I don't mean to disparage that in any way. I thought it was fun. So I hope you join me tomorrow for that Thursday puzzle, the more complex theme day, usually what that is. And please do subscribe to the channel. I maybe haven't mentioned that as often recently, but do subscribe to the channel. If you have been enjoying it, I very much appreciate that. And if you think you know somebody who might enjoy this, pass it on to them as well. Thank you so much to everybody who has backed the Patreon campaign. And I hope to see all of you back tomorrow for the Thursday puzzle. All right, take care. And you have an excellent remainder of your Wednesday. Cheers.